Hello, and welcome to my channel. My name is Anna, and I am a Reiki Master Practitioner, and I also love ASMR. So, for today's session, we are going to be focusing on really breaking through any emotional blockages and building emotional resistance. I also wanted to kind of call to mind this, or invite into this space, I should say, the connection between emotional blockages and creative blockages. Both of these are regulated by our sacral chakra. So it is very likely that if you're having a blockage with your creativity, it's probably tied with a blockage in your emotions. And if you are feeling emotionally blocked, it could be because you have a creative block. Or rather, I should say that if one is existing, it's definitely connected to the other. So, we will go ahead and start by using a little bit of smudge spray. And for this, I'm going to use some moon water, and we're going to make our own little spray. Okay. We're going to be using some essential oils for our smudge spray. Okay. We have orange, eucalyptus, tea tree, my favorite, rosemary, lemongrass, lavender, and frankincense. So for this session, I'm going to use a few that I don't often use. I'm going to start by using orange and lemongrass, a bit of tea tree to balance it, and some frankincense to invite deep wisdom. So here are 4 different scents. I'm going to start by inviting in our lemongrass and our orange to try and find a balance there. So, let's take a few deep rejuvenating breaths together while we get our blend all ready. I know many of you are creative types, artists, and writers, actors, painters. I know there's so many of you are just so creative. It's awesome. I'd love to hear, if you are open to sharing what your kind of creative endeavor is. This is very zingy, very lemony, but it also has, it's got that more earthy, almost floral quality because it's lemongrass. So I'm going to do maybe 2 drops. And then let's see what the orange is like. Maybe we can try to balance this. Much sweeter, more citrusy. I'm going to just do, actually I'm going to do 2 drops of that. Okay. Good. Now let's do one of the tea tree. Yeah, just one. Nice. And then I'm going to do one of this frankincense. I'm going to do 2 more. The first one when I said 1 was actually 2, and the second one when I said 2 was actually 3. That's alright. Okay. So now I'm going to use this moon water to fill it up. Creativity that we're talking about, creative blockages, it doesn't have to just be for artists or people whose career is tied up with creativity. In order to have a well-balanced chakra system, we all are creative. Just because we don't necessarily identify as being particularly talented in some of the creative arts doesn't mean that we don't have that creativity within us. Check out the sound. I really like how weird this sound is. As you well know if you've been watching my videos recently. A weird sound, I like it. But we all have creativity within us, and trying to find a balance of that creative energy is really important. So I'm going to fill this up about 3/4 of the way. So it's very citrusy, but the tea tree and the frankincense have really helped to balance it out. So it's got grounding energy, it's got some refreshing energy, and has that sort of zingy energy too activated. Let's give it a little mix. So we're going to be primarily focusing on the sacral chakra, but I'm going to spritz all around you. It smells nice. It's a very unique little blend there. But definitely kind of a very focused, helps you focus. Okay. Spritzing all around, and then I'll be spritzing in your, outside of your sacral. To your right, to your left, down your feet. Above that beautiful head of yours. Now outside of the sacral. So now I'm going to light a candle and set our intention. You know that feeling when you are so connected and aligned, and creativity is just flowing out of you, like you're in the flow. There's a reason that that feels so good. It's because that alignment is what our higher selves are trying to guide us towards. That sense of being totally in the moment, totally responsive, open, and receptive to impulse and intuition and guidance. That where you're in it, in the zone. Athletes experience that. Zen masters experience that. It's a wonderful experience, and it feels great. It feels great. So this is what we want to encourage. We want to encourage an openness to that sensation. Very often the thing that gets in our way is our self-doubt, is our emotional blockages that we aren't sifting through. So sometimes in order to have those great feelings, we just have to work through some of the grittier feelings. But I think this kind of emotional availability, getting in the flow of your creativity, I think it's open to all of us. It just takes some practice. And I I don't think we can necessarily harness it, turn it on and off. But I do think that once we get into the practice of it, we can set up the environment around us and set up our own internal environment to where this emotion and this experience can be more available to us. That was a cool light on that match. Okay. So on behalf of your highest, wisest, most empowered, aligned self, in loving comfort and perfect balance, I wish to conduct this distance Reiki session for emotional balance and breaking through creative blockages. Now, if you'd like to set your own intention, I'll leave this flame open for you to do so now. As long as it's in service of your and everyone else's highest, wisest selves, I will honor this intention and see it through time and space to where and whenever you happen to be receiving the session. This flame can ignite this intention. It has lit one of the sage leaves that's in there. So it's going it down. Just kind of nice. Okay. So I'm going to put this here if you need to take a few more moments to set your intention. Feel free to just pause the video and take some time to set that intention. Okay, love. So I'm going to do a little bit of cleansing. I'm using this sage bundle to cleanse and clear. Crackly sage bundle. Now I'm going to just clear in your sacral area here. think we're going to primarily focus, like I said, in the sacral. And I'd also like to bring some attention into the throat space, into our throat chakra. I think in this area we will begin to open up a connection between our creativity in the sacral and our expression of that creativity in the throat chakra, our emotions and our emotional balance in the sacral, and then our communication of those emotions in the throat chakra. Just going to light a little bit of incense off of our black pine and oak moss candle so that we can draw the sacred symbols outside of your heart center. I'm going to use this sacred ashtray once again, just to catch any of the ash from this. Smells so good. This is the remainder of the cedarwood incense that I love. Symbol is all about balance, so it's important to include that one. So I'm drawing the sacred symbols. These are the sacred Reiki symbols. They're passed from teacher to student, and there's a direct lineage that you can trace between master and student, going back to the origins of Reiki. So this is one of the reasons I was always taught to keep this symbol sacred, and that the symbols pass down that lineage, and so that we are to preserve that sacred tradition. But I know a lot of Reiki practitioners share the symbols here, and you can Google them and find them, so it's fine. But that's just what I was taught, so that's how I choose to do it. But I have no judgment for anybody doing it their own way. But that's just an explanation of why I share the symbols down outside of your beautiful view. You're beautiful. Not that the view of me is beautiful. It's like. And also because I like to draw them outside of your heart center. It's the center of the 7 primary chakras, and I think it's a nice place to move from. And the foundation for any practice is moving from a place of love, I believe. I love this smell. It's so nice. So just clearing a bit of residual energy that might have been brought in from your day. Starting to really tap into the clearing of those blockages. Clearing, 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 clearing. Little smoke ring. Okay. So I'm going to take my owl rattle now, and I am going to move through, particularly focusing on the sacral chakra, excuse me. And so that's how I'm going to start. This rattle is great for shaking up the energy, for inviting a thickness and a fullness, a buoyancy to the aura. Great for encouraging vibrations. That way we can make our aura more pliable. Okay. So now I'm going to begin to do a bit of hands-on healing here. Just placing my hands on your sacral, 2 to 3 fingers beneath your belly button. This space is very soft and open. Our lower belly is not protected by any bones or anything like that in the front, so it's kind of nice to think about the vulnerability in this physical area and the connection to that vulnerability in our energetic area here. So the energy in this space associated with this chakra is all about navigating those vulnerabilities, all about emotional availability. There's so many of those more tender, I suppose, energies reside in this space. There's also a space of joy, but it's a gorgeous area. It's a balance. So when you are feeling that sense of being emotionally blocked from your emotions, disconnected from your ability to connect, disconnected from your emotions, disconnected from the link between your thoughts and your emotions and your actions. Maybe just, if you start to recognize that, maybe just place a hand on your lower belly. See what comes up. You might start to feel something in another part of your body. Maybe you get tingles on your head. Maybe your throat closes. Maybe your shoulders start to rise or your chest starts to tighten. But we're just starting to recognize what our blockages are and how our bodies, our emotional bodies, our energy bodies, our physical bodies have coped with these blockages. We find ways around it. Holding that tension in other places, for example. I'm going to do the same here outside of your throat. Instead of placing my hands on your throat, I'm going to hover my hands outside of your throat, leaving a fair amount of space there, okay? So just staying outside of your throat. I'm not touching your throat, don't worry. But I am placing my hands in this space, okay? So just inviting in a gorgeous sense of freedom in this place of freedom, emotional freedom, freedom of expression, expressing those emotions freely. Okay. I'm going to place one hand on the nape of your neck and then another hand outside of your throat in the same way, okay? Gorgeous. So just allowing this energy to ping pong back and forth between my palms. Envisioning expansiveness in this area. Freedom, buoyancy, light and vibration. This is the center for truth, communication, expression. So we want to be able to connect these two areas, have an openness and a freedom in the throat chakra and the sacral chakra so that we're able to connect these two spaces. Openly communicate our emotions, openly express our creativity. I'm going to place one hand on your sacral and one hand on your outside of your throat here. So connecting these two spaces. Okay, I'm not touching your throat, just hovering outside, but I am touching your sacral. Gorgeous. So now I'm going to use a tuning fork to clear any of those blockages, inviting the vibration of this tuning fork to cleanse and clear any of those blockages. A little further clearing with the selenite wand. In the throat chakra. And in the sacral. You are divine. You are connected. You are expressive. You are loved. You are strong. You are creative and emotionally balanced. You are safe. Free and safe. You are abundant. You are prosperous. Okay. Thank you so much for joining me. I hope you have a beautiful rest of your day or night. And until we meet again, be so well. So these are the ritual healing boxes. I just wanted to show you inside. This is actually the self-love box. Each of them come with 2 crystal-embedded tea candles and 3 gemstones. So this one has a rose quartz, a green aventurine, and a unakite. Love that for self-love. They come with the same large incense cones. This one is a gardenia. And with this rose and vitamin E anointing oil. So it's rose with a vitamin E carrier oil, and that's just to kind of anoint yourself. You can do it on pressure points. I like to do it on my temples or behind my ears. And then you can have them in this box. Just kind of keep them here with your crystal collection. So the link is in the bio if you're interested. Thank you to everyone who's purchased one, and I hope you feel the love that I put in. Okay. Can you come up on the pillow? She just wants cuddles. Come on. For today's video, I just wanted to do a little chakra activation and just doing a little bit of balancing and aligning. But this is a new kind of video for me. I usually speak directly to the collective instead of the individual, so that always happens when I'm trying to do it like a perspective. Maybe your perspective on